Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my MotoGP 18 career mode, and we are here for episode number 6 now, and rounds 3 and 4 of the championship in Moto3. Now if you guys did miss the last episode, the first 2 races in my debut in Moto3, then do check it out by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. That was a very interesting episode. Both races very contrasting in terms of how they went, so I do urge you to go check those 2 out, because it was a very interesting opener to my Moto3 chapter in my career. And also we did actually get an upgrade, so do check that episode out to see exactly what happened. But anyway, we are here now for episode number 2, and in today's episode we're going to be racing around COTA, which is a track that, you know, is F1 familiar. It's a track that I know well. It's a very long lap on motorbikes, especially in Moto3 machines, and we are racing also around Jerez, which is the first of the duplicates, because that was the round 1 of the Red Bull Rookies Cup. So familiar ground in the second race, but we're kicking things off with COTA, and hopefully we can have some good pace around there. I do enjoy COTA, especially with motorbikes, so fingers crossed we can have a good race and we can try and get some more points on the board. So let's jump into it now for round number 3 for the USA Grand Prix. Here we are then, Austin, Texas, the circuit of the Americas. Familiar ground. It's time for qualifying. Let's see how our pace is, and let's hope it's not like Qatar and it's a little bit more like Argentina. It's time for qualifying. Okay, end of lap 1. You can definitely notice the difference in grip when you go out right at the start of the session. I went out right at the start for a change to get a banker in, and the track has just got no grip at all. But either way, that's a lap completed, and a 2:17.0 is the benchmark. I'm going to come back in now and skip a little bit of the session, and let's see how that lap time holds up. Right, so I've simulated, and 10 minutes to go, and that one lap was actually fastest. We're 4/10 fastest so far. I'm going to go back out and try and improve. I know I can, but I think I've got this in the bag. I feel pretty confident, unless there's a dramatic improvement in the AI's pace, which does happen in the last 10 minutes. They do tend to improve quite a lot of the AI in this game, which I quite like. I don't think they're going to be enough. It's going to be enough, but we'll give it a go. I'm going to try one more attempt here, but I feel like I've got some good pace around here. Okay, we're currently 4/10 up. A pretty good improvement. Not as much as I thought, but still a pretty good improvement nonetheless. Through the final corner, power on nice and early, nice and clean on the exit. No missing the gears this time, and we do improve by 3/10 in the end, and we get to the 1:16. So I think that lap will be enough for pole, and we're going to confirm it now as we retire from the session.
That brings an end to this qualifying session, and after a thrilling contest where the riders gave their all right up until the end, we can finally find out the name of the rider who will start from pole position tomorrow. It was a long weekend for the Moto3 riders, but finally the showdown is here. We are coming to you from the starting grid. There's just a few minutes to go before the race begins.
Here we are then on the grid. Can we make it? The first race win of the season. We'll find out shortly. I will say this, if I win this race, I'll probably up the difficulty for the next one to 105. But first of all, we have to finish the job in hand. That's win this race. We need to get a good start. I've got a lot of comments, a lot of you guys in the comments I know, and I'm aware of this. My starts are terrible. I'm not really sure how to improve them. You know, I just sort of rev the engine and just hold down the tucking button so I'm nice and low, and I just let it go. But I'm sure there's a way to do it. But then again, the poor starts sometimes create for an exciting race and I have to fight my way through the field. But anyway, let's jump into it here at COTA. Let's see if we can convert this pole position into a race win. Here we go then, getting ready for the 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go in Austin, and it's not too bad of a start. I've had worse, that's not too shabby. Only P3 for now, that's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that. Turn 1 for the first time though. Going to run a little bit deep on purpose to try and take the outside line. And that was a very nice turn 1. Inside for turn 2 with my Marco Bezzecchi there underneath. Very nice, holding on to that position. Now through the S's for the first time. I don't know what I'm like through here. I feel like I'm okay, but it's here where it starts to get a bit complicated. But that wasn't too bad actually. That was one of my better ones. So far though, oof, so good as the back end almost stepped at me there. Got a guy on my inside, just about managed to avoid him. This is an important race. I want to see if I can actually win and get that monkey off my back after 3 races as a rookie in Moto3. That would mean very good things for the season going forward, as I take a little bit too much corner there. I'm going to run a little bit wide. I'm going to have to get out of it a little bit there just to make sure nothing happens. Braking late for the hairpin, putting it down for the apex. I've got a couple of bikes on my inside. I'm taking a bit of a wider entry and a short comeback line sort of thing. It's like a Lorenzo style of driving where he comes in very wide and then comes back across and to get the best exit speed onto the back straight. This is the first time we've raced with the new speed upgrade, and you can see in a straight line we are much better. So this is very, very positive. You never know, maybe that qualifying might have been down to the upgrade and the improved straight line speed as I've run a little bit hot into the hairpin there. But so far, this bike's working very nicely compared to Qatar and especially, or Buenos Aires and especially Qatar. But so far, we look very, very good in this race. I love the sort of contrasting lines this track provides for racing. Into turn 1, I'm so much wider. I take almost pretty much an F1 line, whereas the motorbike guys, you know, especially the other guys behind me, they really sort of attack the apex and then just slow the bike down. Whereas I try to get it much more sort of widen across. I'm definitely here. I can definitely say that I'm taking more of an F1 style approach around here. Just the nice wide swooping lines. You know, it's all very F1-esque. I need to maybe adapt the MotoGP style philosophy and just attack the apex a lot more. At the moment, Aaron Canet is keeping me very, very honest in second place. He's keeping up at the moment. My pace isn't as good as qualifying, but we're definitely a little bit faster. But Aaron Canet is definitely just keeping me honest as he goes up the inside of turn 1. Is what I'm saying. The MotoGP line, or in this case the Moto3 line, in contrast to the F1 style, you can see how he gets on the inside there. Now it's opening up the corners a lot more, but we're still in the lead. Lap 3, 1.5, 2 laps to go. We're looking good so far. Ooh, just a little bit wide to the final corner there. Aaron Canet just had a little bit of a space to attack. I sort of was going to turn in and I just sort of half hesitated and I had to turn out of it as we now go into the last lap of the Grand Prix. Canet is right there. He's going to definitely outbrake me into here as I take a different line. But I'm going to stick to what I do best. I'm a little bit wide this time, but we're going to come back underneath and look at the momentum we get a la F1. And we managed to hold on to first place for now. On the last lap, can we hold on to our lead here and pick up our first win in Moto3? I think we've got it. We just got to feed it through this final sector, which I know the AI are pretty good at. I've got to be careful. So far, Canet is right there. He's keeping me very honest. So we've got to make sure we get this next left-hander absolutely perfect. And I turn in a little bit too early. I get a little bit wrong on the entry. It's going to maybe allow Canet a glimmer of hope into the final corner. Braking late. Picking up the apex, making sure Canet doesn't pick up the inside line. And there we go, out the final corner. We're going to win our first race in the Moto3 Championship. And there is 25 points for the Riders World Championship. Overall, very happy with that. And that came way sooner than expected. So for the next race, I will bump it up to 105% for Jerez. So let's see how that one goes. But let's look at the final race results. So as you can see, we bring home the fastest lap in the end as well, and we just managed to beat Canet in the end. Marco Pezzacci picks up the podium, the last spot there, and Jorge Martin also in 5th. I'm the highest KTM. Marco's really the guy I'm looking to compete against, and in terms of my teammate, Mr. Binder, who finished last. So we're looking very good at the minute. Looking very good indeed. I think it's just not a good rider because we're all on the same machinery. The KTM is pretty much the same for everyone. So I think we're just doing a good job. And I think Darren Bin's also in a pretty bad time of it at the moment. But yeah, let's jump into the next race, guys, for Jerez. And in the meantime, I'm going to change the difficulty. Let's do it. Right, as you can see, we have the AI set to 105 for the next race in Jerez. Let's get into it. Here we go, Jerez, the first track that we're actually doing for the second time in this series, as this was our debut race in the Red Bull Rookies Cup last season. So let's see how it goes as we now delve into qualifying. One thing's for sure, I can already appreciate the difference in speed with these bikes compared to the Red Bull Rookies ones around here. Right at the end of my first attempt, we are currently 3 tenths down in Sector 3. Ayumu Sasaki, who is in P8, overtook me on his outlap. So we got a P19, but he was pretty good. So if we can just sort of follow him, I feel like that'd be a good reference point to try and get a good lap time. But there we go. First lap in the books. Let's try and improve now. Right into the final corner. And lap times are now tumbling. We was actually fastest in the first 2 sectors compared to the previous pole time, but that has now been improved. I'm actually catching up to now Ayumu Sasaki. And we go P2, just a fraction shy from the pole time. So a massive improvement there. Let's see if we can go one step further and try and get that pole position. Sasaki's a good guy to follow because he's gone up to P5, so he's definitely a good little reference point. I had to back out on that attempt. I just sort of made a mistake, and I had 2 bikes behind me, so I want to get some clean air and try and go again. We've dropped down to P6 now. Out the final corner then, do we improve? I feel like I'm starting to struggle now. I can't really shave much time off, half a second adrift, but we just can't really get an improvement. I want to try one more time, but that might be all she wrote. Ah, crap. Too much. Just pushing too much. I think I'm going to call it there. I was half a second down in Sector 2. I think that's the best I can do at the moment. I think We're going to have to settle for P6, which is my current position.
That brings an end to the qualifying session for deciding pole. The results that you are looking at now don't just show us the grid positions, they also give us an idea of what the riders will be capable of in tomorrow's race. A few more minutes and the Moto3 race will begin. Right now we are at the starting grid, waiting for the riders to receive the signal to start the warm-up lap.
It's time for the race here in Jerez. Interesting one. I'm looking forward to it. P6 in the end. We didn't lose any more places after qualifying, so that's not too bad. I feel like maybe on race pace we can maybe do a better job. I'm hoping we can get a good start, and that way we set ourselves up for a nice little attack over the race, and hopefully we can find some race pace, because, you know, so far after 3 races, I seem to have found pace as the race goes on. So I definitely think, you know, if this race, if I'd left it on 100% difficulty, I would have had pole. The fact it's on 105 has just made it a little bit more harder for me. So that's why I want the challenge. But I tend to have got faster as the race goes on. So let's hope we can hope for more of the same here today and crack into at least that top 5. But I look forward to it. Let's crack into it now. Let's try and jump into the Spanish Grand Prix. Okie dokie, here we go. We're getting ready for the 5 red lights. And we are underway in Jerez de la Frontera, and it's not a terrible start. It's not that bad. We just block off Alfonso there from making the move, and we're running down to P8, so we're in a couple of places. We're going to turn 1 for the first time. Very, very close. Getting a little bit of contact with some bikes there, but so far, so good. And we're in the race here. We're in the bike race. That's the main thing. We just got to make sure we stay in touch with these front guys. So that's going to be the challenge here today. Also seeing what their race pace is like. I'm curious. So let's see what our race pace is relative to theirs. But so far, that top 7's breaking away quite nicely. We need to try and catch back up to those guys. So let's try and get the power on through here over the crest. Very wide through there. That was very close. A little bit too wide for comfort. Just trying to get the power on too early. I'm going to have to brake very late into the dry sack hairpin to try and hope I can stay in front of these guys. First gear, gone very aggressive on the gearing, but they've still gone up my inside anyway. They're just like suicide bombers, these guys. Honestly, Moto3, it's so risky and so on the knife edge when it comes to racing. But we've had a great run here. Can we go on the outside, possibly? Oh, yes, we can. We're going to get caught out, though, hung out to dry out wide. And they're going to come back up my inside here. So far, though, we're getting the elbows out. It's an aggressive race. Okay, going through the final sector now. We're right behind Marco. Run a little bit wide on the first one. Well, that is going to put me right on the back of him going into the second one. But I just understood a little bit wide again. They're not ideal. Into the final corner, into the Jorge Lorenzo curve. Very late on the brakes. Traction on early, second gear. Let's see if our straight line speed upgrade pays off as we tuck up in the slipstream. It's not a particularly long straight, this one, but might be enough to make some damage. And here we go into the first corner. Late on the brakes. It's very late. On the inside, though, we get it done very nicely there. And we're back up into P8. Okay, on to lap number 3, or sorry, on to lap number 4, I think now. I'm not really sure. Yeah, on to lap 4. We are catching, only 2 tenths off the fast lap of the Grand Prix. I think that lap was faster than my qualifying lap, so we're finding pace here, and I'm catching up to Tatsuki Suzuki. Let's see if we can try and get past him. On to the last lap of the Grand Prix. I don't think I'm close enough to really make a move here on Tatsuki. He's just got too good pace for me. I need to get these next 2 corners absolutely perfect to have any chance of getting near Tatsuki Suzuki. Really throwing the bike into that one, but I don't think I'm close enough. I'm going to launch one of the brakes and see if it sticks, but I don't think it's going to happen. Picking up the traction in first gear. I've got a bit of a poor exit out of there, and it's not going to happen, unfortunately. It's going to be P8 for us in this race. Not too bad, I'll take it. Considering that's the first race at 105 difficulty, that's not too bad, and it's good points. So overall, a learning curve. 105 AI is about right now. That's the next challenge, try and surpass 105 AI. But as you can see, there is our level 15 now, about to go into level 16. And here's the interesting part. We have the race results. This is pretty interesting because obviously Jorge Martin and Canet are the 2 that are going to be the standout performers all season long. We just got to try and be the best KTM, which in this case we was in this race by quite a bit. As you can see, no one around us. The first KTM was Marco Bezzecchi, so as long as we keep beating him, we're pretty good. And in terms of Darren Binder, he is way down in P26, so not a good race for my teammate there, but I think I've sort of accepted that. Also, our fast lap was pretty close to the actual fast lap of the race, but in terms of the Riders' Championship, you can see now, we are in P4, 44 points behind Aaron Canet, only 4 points behind Lorenzo Della Porta, so like I said, it's all going to be between Canet and Martin. They're going to be quite hard to beat. But if we can get third place and we can hold on to that won't be too bad. You know, that'd be a good starting point for me. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully we can sink our teeth into the challenge. But in terms of the development points and also reputation, as you can see, we get 3,700 development points from that race. We got 4,000 after the last race. So I think we've got quite a few to spend. So let's have a look and crack into it. And let's see what the new upgrades have to offer. Okay then, so we have 8,000 points to work with, which is pretty damn good. So if we hop into the bike development, quite a things to work on. I got a few comments from you guys in the last episode saying this bike needs to improve the handling and the engine power. So first of all, we're going to go for the engine power. Now, traction is not an issue. You know, I overall think it's not too bad. I just want to get a bit more power. So we could go for that one there, but I'm going to hold back for now because I want to see what the other options are. So I'm going to guess we have aerodynamics, you know, which would increase just trying to get through the corners better. We have the downforce option or the penetration. I think I might look at the downforce one, there might be a possibility. And then we've got the frame, you know, different sort of lean or stiffness depending on what we prefer. That's not an issue for me right now. I'm sort of a bit... I'm not really sure where I want to go with this. Brakes are fine. I'm not an issue with brakes. I think it's in between the frame and the aerodynamics. With the frame, you know, I really think if you look at the lean, it does say the option increases the rate of descent of the bike when cornering, which means you can get the bike down a lot quicker to the apex, and you can also lean the bike a lot more, which is good. Stiffness though makes it a lot faster to change direction. I don't feel like this is too bad for me. I'm not too shabby with this. I feel like it's more getting the nose down. So I'm going to go for this one first of all, and that leaves us 4,100 points to spend, and I think I might go for the aerodynamics, and I might go for the downforce one. So we're going to crack that one open as well. And there we go. Those two upgrades are now on the bike, and they will arrive for the next race. And also, if you look at the right-hand side, we're actually getting really close now to first rider. So very, very encouraging indeed, and I'm looking forward to it. But if you guys have enjoyed this episode of the MotoGP Career Mode, then please do leave a like on the video. Let's try and smash 150 likes, guys, for this episode. Also, please be sure to check out the two videos you can see on screen right now if you have missed them. And finally, if you're new around here, why not subscribe for daily MotoGP and F1 content, and do turn on notifications to not miss a single upload from me. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Let's see my next video tomorrow. Goodbye.